Walking alone at night. Are you truly, really safe? Are you afraid to pass men, not knowing what they'll do or say? Walk a day, walk a night in my shoes, a woman. Have you ever felt like your body, your personality, and your sexuality was up for the taking? Do you live your life always fearful of what may happen if you express yourself the way you really want? They yell at me when I pass by, like I'm a freak show, to watch for their pleasure. Then they say, me too. They push their presence in conversation, like respect is not owed to me. Others say, me too. At what point do women become playthings and victims with no free will? We say, we're going to speak up and speak out and fight for our freedom against this social injustice. I say that. How about you? Because catcalling, unwanted advances, inappropriate behaviors from men have caused women, myself, to feel unsafe, stressed, and seeking ways not to feel vulnerable. No longer, as women, do we have to stand alone. We will band together to stop this residual pain. A majority of women across ages support the Me Too movement. In the survey, 2,500 women ages 18 and up, 71% of those under 35 say they support the movement, as do 68% of women aged 35 and over. This chart shows victims suffer from anxiety and depression. Unknowing to men, women go through a lot of effects from the cause of the social injustice, from the behaviors, sexual harassment, and assault. This shows the different levels of anxiety and depressions that they deal with.
I remember being on the street.
She tells her story on the big screen.
Enormous sense of relief that I had escaped that house and that going to kill me. Both Fred and Mark were drunkenly laughing during the attack. They seemed to be having a very good time. Mark seemed ambivalent, at times eagerly recognition, at times telling me to stop. A couple of times I made eye contact.
More than 3 out of 4 women have been verbally harassed. Verbal sexual harassment, unwelcome sexual touching, cyber sexual harassment, being physically followed, unwanted genital flashing, and sexual assault. This chart shows the percentages between women and men who have experienced these social injustices. The Me Too movement was founded in 2006 to help survivors of sexual violence find pathways to healing. The vision is to build a community of advocates driven by survivors. In less than 6 months, because of the viral hashtag #MeToo, a very necessary conversation has been thrust into the national dialogue. The Me Too movement was founded by Tarana Burke. Sexual harassment and abuse towards women is an issue that has been ongoing from the beginning of time. Most victims experience these accounts very early in life. The children being sexually abused by family and or friends, to young girls blossoming into their womanhood and becoming more visible to the attraction of men. From their personal everyday lives to even in their workplace, they are victims of their sexuality, mental abilities, and careers. How can we stop this social injustice and hold men accountable for their behaviors? I believe we started the domino effect with the Me Too movement and other causes out there that bring it to the forefront, put the actions of men in the open, and let them know we will no longer hide, gloss over, or make it seem like it's okay. Continuing on as women, we must stay consistent in our fight and rise above. I don't believe this will become non existent, but we will make it known that it is not okay.
Hello, my name is Tamika Webb. I am the founder and the owner of Hey Girl and also the published author of Broken Into Position. The purpose of my video today is to express my opinion, my views on the hashtag #MeToo movement. And although it's sad that we have to have a hashtag for this, but it is time that we have this conversation, that we talk about it, and that we finally try to address and fix these issues. I personally believe that it's disheartening that sometimes we as women have to downplay ourselves. We have to adjust the way that we dress, adjust the way that we act, smell, etc., just to try to avoid sexual comments, advances, and just inappropriate behavior, because some gentlemen and other people as well aren't able to control their urges. It's sad that you can't be who you really are. Sometimes women can't be who they really are because they have to downplay themselves to avoid issues in the workplace, in public, etc. And also, I would say this, although I've never been a victim of sexual harassment, any, hashtag Me Too worthy incidences in the workplace, in my personal life, I do know women, and I do have family members that have, been victims and have dealt with this. And a lot of the conversation lately about women coming forth now after so many years saying, oh my gosh, me too. It happened to me too, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. True, the time has passed. Why come forth now? But think about it, the time is different. Nowadays, a woman might feel safer than she did 20, 30 years ago to say, he did this to me. There might have been fear of ostracizing, of, their spouse leaving them, of bringing shame to their family, of saying, okay, well, if this happened to me, if I say something, what happens then? Are there going to be any consequences? Am I going to get help? Like, what are you going to do? It's just going to make me look like, it's going to paint me in an unfavorable light. And as a woman, unfortunately, back in those days, which those days weren't long ago, it could have been turned around like, we did something. We caused this. We should have been wearing a sheet covering up our entire body. We looked, too provocative. That provoked that behavior. That provoked that response, because he's a man. He's not supposed to have self-control. So in summary, I'm super proud of the women that have come forward now, that are having the courage to say it. I mean, although it's been a while, live your truth. And also, I pray that through this exposure and through, modern times, and women having more courage and acknowledging the power, the wisdom, and who we are, and stepping into that it encourages and helps other women to do the same. And also to say, me too, if that's a situation, right away, and it's not okay. So let's stop that behavior so we can stop having these Me Too incidences. Hope you have a blessed one.